Clerk of Parliament from the Treasury, where they say that there will be a deficit of 200 billion Kenya shillings if the finance bill is done away with. And to cover for this deficit, there are some essentials that the Treasury suggested that will be affected. That include vocational training of centers, university funding, cash transfers for senior citizens, as well as confirmation for medical and junior secondary school interns. Now, just listening to health is essential, looking at education is also essential. What are your thoughts on the potential budget cuts?
I think this was just an attempt to actually force the financial bill on Kenyans, because you cannot tell me that you can go to Parliament and tell members of Parliament that if you don't pass that one, we're having to cut budget on. They're also talking about roads. They'll have to cut budgets on roads. They'll have to cut budgets on and bringing in that they are not going to employ JSS teachers. That is just trying to intimidate these members of Parliament. I think at the moment we should not. The conversation in this country should be different. We should be looking at the wastages that are happening. We should go back and start looking at what is being proposed in this budget that does not make a lot of sense to the common man. Anytime, even in your house, when you're making a budget, you look at what is essential and what is non-essential. So it is also important for us as a country to also look at what is important. We cannot be going to renovate houses at this moment. We cannot be buying new cars at this moment. It's time now, if you're going to be looking at cutting budgets, let's start cutting at non-essential, what is not important to the country. And I think that is just an attempt to actually threaten Kenyans, which I think most members of Parliament do not buy it. Because you cannot tell people now that CDF is going to be reduced, which actually they had actually increased by 30 billion, and now taking 15 billion out of the 30, it means that it's also an increase of 15 billion, which we are seeing an attempt to try and make Kenyans always be looking up to politicians for help. We don't need to actually, when people are empowered, people will not be going for the bursaries. No parent is actually happy when they're going to queue to get a bursary for their children. If we can empower these parents and ensure that they are able to pay their children's fees by ensuring that actually we do not have unnecessary bills in the government. And I'll tell you one thing, Gen Z is very smart. You're looking at Gen Z telling you they are being thrown a curveball so that they can go for that ball. In the meantime, government was looking at something. They've already noticed bread and the other things were only to take their attention away so that they can increase what they are doing. We saw Murkomen going to Parliament to try and increase the road fuel levy, which is road maintenance levy, which is actually going to increase the cost of doing business in the country. As this gentleman has just said, fuel is everything we use fuel in all our businesses, even moving around. Fuel is one of those important things that when it goes up, everything goes up. You may not increase the price of bread, but when you increase the price of transporting that bread to actually that local shop, it will increase eventually. So we may not increase, you may not put that levy that you wanted to put in cars, but increasing fuel will actually make even that car more expensive. So we're just trying to say, putting those attempts to twist and say, if you don't do this, you're not going to be doing this, and you're going to cut. If it's going to be cut so much, let's take it out and let's come up with a new one, so that we don't cut on those important things that we need. We need JSS teachers, we need interns to be employed. So if it's going to be so much problematic, let's not even vote for it. Let's throw it away and start afresh. Because we have already, there's no vacuum. There's never a vacuum in the law. Actually, we have the 2023 finance bill. We can continue with that, yeah, so that we don't say there's going to be a vacuum as we prepare another one. It's our country, it's our money. Why do we feel like we are in a rush? We can sit down and discuss and see these are the things that are going to be changing. Let us now allow ourselves. if it is going to be now the CDF that they're talking about to cut and other things that they're going to be to cut, let's cut and ensure that our children will have actually the university fees that they require, and actually they are going to have teachers in the centers. So those attempts to actually twist our members of parliament, it's actually unacceptable at this day and age.